I'm back at it again, trying to find you some of the best fishing deals on the web. And Tackle Warehouse has a new week of specials. In the past, they've done a flat 25% off everything. This year, they're doing it kind of by week, and they have special deals by week. And instead of 25% off or 20% off everything, it's 15% off, and some of them are discounted a little bit more. There's still some great deals. You just have to hunt for them a little bit harder. And let me do that right now. So one that I saw was this Daiwa Tatula 100. This is the older model. Shields had it for $10 more, and I thought that was a great deal. This is $10 less on Tackle Warehouse. Excellent deal. I fished the Tatula 200. It's a great reel. I have a bunch of Daiwa Fuego CTs, and they have the kind of the narrow, they don't have the T-wing system is what I'm trying to say. With the T-wing system, the only thing you need to worry about is connection knots getting jammed there, because they will break you off if you try to run connection knots through there with long leaders. So straight braid, straight fluoro, straight mono, or braid to leader with a short leader like 5-6 feet. No problem at all. If you try to run a 20-foot leader, you're going to get broken off. Might not happen the first day, but it will break you off eventually. So that's that Daiwa Tatula 100. Let's look at the Exceller. There's a new version of this coming out. You see, the new one has that narrow wire bail, and it doesn't have quite the same smooth transition to the line roller. I really like the smooth transition to the line roller. Your line doesn't get caught right there. I haven't fished these. I don't know, if that would be enough to catch your line on occasion, but I have fished the Exceller a lot, and it's great. And especially if you don't want to deal with the mag oil in the Daiwa Fuego, which is another great reel that's on sale. It's a little cheaper at Shields, but it's still a great deal here. But especially if you didn't want to deal with the mag oil on a Daiwa Fuego, you can go with the Exceller, and it's great. I fish it in the 2500 size. I think the 2000 size. I don't know if they have a 2000 in there, but definitely the 1000 and 2500 size. And they're great. I fish them interchangeably between the Fuego, the Exceller, the Tatula. To me, they're all very, very similar reels in this LT spinning series. There's a little bit of difference in the bearing count. Drags are pretty similar. Maybe the Tatula is a little bit smoother. Casting is all very, very similar for all of them. And there just isn't a big difference except the price point. To me, that's the biggest difference. The Tatula, let me talk about that for just a second. The Tatula spinning reel, I have this in a 3000 size, and this nice little rubberized handle doesn't show up on the 3000. It's this hard plastic handle, which personally I didn't care for. And it took me a long time to find a handle online, or a replacement handle that I liked. So I would just say, skip the 3000, go with a 2500 or lower, and you'll have no problems. Performance-wise, it's a little bit smoother than the Exceller or the Fuego. Again, I fish them interchangeably, but the biggest difference with the Tatula is that it's super, super light. For its, for a 3000 size reel, it's super, super light. And so you want to make sure that you pair it up with a light rod. Otherwise, the balance will be off, just because that reel is so light. But a great reel, great drag. Anything like a drop shot or Ned rigs. I do all kinds of stuff with that reel, but I also, I have good luck with the Exceller and the Fuego too, and you can save a pile of money. Let's talk about the Lew's KVD LFS. So I've fished the LFS reels for a long time, and they're great reels. I haven't actually fished this one, but there's a few upgrades. It's got this lure keeper right here, which I like. One of the things I don't like about the standard LFS is the knobs on this handle. And so I always upgrade them with, they're called combat grips. You can get them on Tackle Warehouse, and it's an easy mod to do. I'll just show you really quickly. It's an easy mod to do to just swap out those knobs. And the grip is much better. So back to the reel. I've only fished the standard LFS version, but I like that the KVD version comes with a few of these extra features. The reviews are pretty good, and it comes with, I think it's EVA padded knobs there, and you shouldn't have to upgrade them. I haven't actually fished it, and I haven't purchased this one yet, but it looks like a pretty good deal. I was thinking I might get it on clearance later in the season. I don't really need it right now. Yeah, but it's a great deal, I think. And again, it's very similar to the LFS, which I fished a ton. And with the LFS series, 3/8, half ounce and up, it's great. It doesn't do super well with the lighter weight stuff, but anything from 3/8 of an ounce and up, 30-pound braid or mono or fluoro, whatever you like. Yeah, I beat the heck out of them, and they just keep working. They're not the smoothest. I think the KVD is going to be a little bit smoother, but what I do is I just keep it well oiled, well lubed, and yeah, they're great. So that was another one that caught my eye. Stratic FL. Now, this reel, there was a big upgrade last time to the FL version, and that was this long stroke spool. And I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but years and years ago, Daiwa had a reel called the SS, and there was an SS 700, a 1300, a 2600, and they were great in terms of casting distance. They had a pretty smooth felt drag. They had a worm gear in it, so you got a nice line lay all across the spool. And they never really did anything more with that reel. And the biggest fault with it was that it had an anti-reverse, that old style anti-reverse that the reel handle would go back a quarter turn and then slam your wrist. And yeah, that wasn't great. But everything else about the reel was wonderful, and they never really did much with it for 30 years. They didn't change it. And I was very pleased to see that Shimano adopted this long stroke spool. And it really does make a difference if you're looking for just a little bit more distance, trying to reach fish that are just out of range. If you're a shore angler or fishing a spinning reel gives you trouble, try this Shimano long stroke spool. It's great. The FM version, which is the new one, it's a white reel like the old Stratics. Oh, service unavailable. We'll go back. But it's a white reel, but it has the same long stroke spool and a couple other features. To me, I would go with the FL on sale over the new FM because they look to me like very, very similar reels except for the colorway. And yeah, you save a bunch of money if you go with the FL. So that was it on the reels. Let's see if I can get to the swim baits without getting any error codes. The Jackal Gantarelle swim bait. I fished these a bunch in the junior, not so much in the regular Gantarelle. But what's really nice about these is they're not too bulky. I do change out these hooks because you will bend out these hooks eventually, but it's got nice swivel hangers. What's nice about them is that they're very easy to fish. So with a lot of glide baits, you'll reel for 3 or 4 handle turns, and then you'll give them a couple pops, boom, boom, and then keep reeling, right? With the Gantarel, all you do is reel and then stop, and it'll glide out left, and then reel, it'll glide out right, or whatever. It might do left again, depends on where you stop that handle. And then you resume your the same retrieve, usually a slow to moderate retrieve. So if you're doing that all day long, it's a much easier bait to fish on your wrist, on your elbow, on your shoulder, because all you're doing is stopping. You're not imparting any kind of twitch or, jerks. It's much easier to fish if you're going to be fishing this for an extended period of time. And they do work. They do catch fish. They'll either hit it on the pause or right when it starts going again as they think it's fleeing away. Like I said, I swap out these hooks. And the other thing that happened to me on one of my baits is this little fin. It's like a stabilizer fin. It fell out. And I haven't been able to track down a replacement fin. And so what I'd recommend is super gluing that fin in place before you even fish it. Swap out those hooks and you're good to go. And it has a bunch of different colors. There's a crappie pattern. There's a RT bluegill. There's a ghost bluegill. And yeah, if you were looking for a swim bait, there's one that I would recommend. All right, let's see if I could go to one more here. So, Shimano Corrado 200K. It's on sale, $50 off. It's a great workhorse of a reel. There's a new version out, a 200M. But for my money, what I'd recommend is the 150 MGL. I even fish that with a 50-pound braid. I use that for frog fishing. And I'd say, unless you really need the line capacity of a 200 size reel, I'd go with the MGL. Just my personal preference. You get a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more compact form factor. It's a little bit more comfortable. And like I said, I use the 150 MGL for frog fishing. So any kind of power fishing you want to do with it. And it's been great. Now, if you need the line capacity, you want to fish 65-pound braid, maybe you're fishing like a Strike King 10XD or something, and you're making these long bomb casts. All right, that's different. You might need the line capacity, but if you don't really need the line capacity, I'd say Shimano Corrado 150 MGL all day long. All right, that's it. Short and sweet today. I hope this helped. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.